Okay, greetings. Welcome to our stream of the Lumainvoir Island. My RPG setting, which I've been planning for a very long time, and we have a few smaller party today because one of our members got either polymorphed into a goblin plushie or is at home. You can choose whichever truth you want. And yeah, the journey has been long and arduous. And as a recap from the last session, Jay, if you will.
Yes,
as a reminder, the party consists of a mysterious gunslinger called Jay.
yes, that's me.
Has a habit of drinking, so he might not remember things properly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir Derek Sand, a paladin.
Also has a habit of drinking.
Yes, has a habit of drinking and has a mysterious past.
Dun dun.
And some issues with authorities at times. And then we have Leif.
Yes.
Or
Yeah, for the LW8.
LW8.
Yes. Warforged, I don't even have the habit of breathing.
But you do have a mysterious past.
Oh, yeah, I have one of those. Yeah.
So that's a party named Mysterious Past.
Yeah.
We have 3 goons running with us.
Yes.
And the goon master is the one that is currently
Yeah, as the
indisposed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing serious.
Clergy guy, Mr.
Yeah.
Gray.
Yeah.
Someone
Yes.
has something to do with the politics of the place.
Yeah,
They're
totally
technically
not a
our
shady
boss.
character.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
The brains of the operation.
Yeah.
Conveniently missing.
I
Oh
will-
yeah, we're
oh.
gonna have fun today.
Headless chicken day.
Yes. I will put an introduction of Father Edgar at the latest tomorrow on our Facebook page, so you can find out why he's such a beloved character. But yeah, recapping last time.
Yeah,
Go.
we capture Jay's eyes and ears in a true habit of meticulous note keeping, and last time we had encountered and saving Darren's, I guess it was a sister or
Niece.
something.
Niece. Yeah.
I don't know.
He doesn't
Particularly,
care.
I don't care.
Relative.
But it's a relative,
A young female
relative,
of
and
the
we saved
family.
him.
Yeah.
We I shot guns. Someone died, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then there was this one dude that Darren said is some kind of a big dude, big guy, honcho, and
He didn't get shot.
that guy didn't get shot because someone told me not to shoot him. But okay, whatever. Then we found this dagger, which was pretty much poisoned or cursed or something. Bad vibes, basically. Then this robot guy took the dagger and ruined a whole barrel of wine with it for some reason.
Tragedy.
Well, basically the whole thing went through. We went back. I took the dagger. Now it's with me. I think Leif knows it's with me. But Father Gray doesn't know,
No.
and I don't think Darren knows.
Not yet.
But it's really bad vibe dagger. It's made of bone. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Well, then we left off from Caraboche, and then we saw cats. A lot of cats.
Yeah.
Not really a cat person myself, but we saw cats. Then we continued our trip to what was the big city called? Fumorovos. And then we ran into Darren's friends again. This captain,
I have many friends.
big burly guy who was inspecting some kind of accident on the road. Mish, nothing much. And yeah, there was someone with a flamethrower. Yeah. Oh yeah.
The most common weapon.
Yeah, that was interesting. That
Yeah.
was flamethrower.
Arsonists.
And then we ended up at the pub, which is called Careful Garden.
Yep.
Don't know why. Here we are.
Yeah, so here we are at the Careful Garden Inn. Everything's peachy, everything's fine, nothing's ruined. the Careful Garden is upkept by the theocracy, the temple of Omnal, who is the main god of the island, and it's in the crossroads here is the inn. Oh wait, somewhere here-ish, and it's on the border of the Vale of Miseria, which is a very bad place with very much bad mojo. But luckily, the temple itself has sanctified the place so that people can rest in the Careful Garden Inn/pub, and it's protected by runes and glyphs in a expanding sort of sun-like shape outside the inn. And that's where we left it. The party came and were over, slept, or those who slept, and that's where we'll start in the inn. Sir Grey, Father Grey has his own rooms, as befits a man of his station. Leif sleeps probably in the cart guarding the box,
Yep.
which is the main thing.
The box.
The box.
Inside is another box.
Yes.
That's the reason why the party is moving to get the artifact in the box to Fomurvos and then up north. And Leif and one of the goons slept in the cart.
It was the horse guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horse guy is Hector.
Yes.
Hector.
Hector
Yeah.
for horse.
Hector is
Hector.
from the west, where they have a culture of like horses are not just mounts; they are friends.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah.
So you got your own rooms because the temple had coordinated the entire trip, and you all have your own rooms, and you wake up in the morning and everything seems
Bed. Nice.
Yeah. In the morning, I will spend some time while people have breakfast and other organic requirements. I will just modify the setting of my armor. Basically, retracting all of the spaced armor plates to allow me better freedom of movement and making less noise. I will move my infusions. I'm not sure when was the last time that I mentioned where they're at as an artificer. One of them for my returning weapon, and the other one replicating a wand of secrets. So we have access to that magic item.
Yep.
And then I will just make sure that the box still says, like in this order, it smells of apples, it says apples, and if you touch the lock, you hear the message, activating acid spray in 3, 2, 1. It does nothing, but they are my 3 magical tinkering things, so as I tinker during the day, these abilities will go, like, stop functioning in this same
It's
order.
really useful you used 3 magical effects, while when someone used dispel magic, they can just detect magic, they detect every single one of them at the same time.
Yeah, but
The
like,
inside of the box is already magical enough.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
little bit of wood on top is not
actually,
going to stop
actually,
it.
that's reason. Oh, right. Oops. I said nothing.
Which reminds me, at this point, probably my organic companions will be eating.
Yeah.
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 And the thing is,
Breakfast.
we'll just because like you can use dispel magic on magical tinker, but it's like a free thing to him. You can just like
Mm-hmm.
put them
Yeah.
on again. The thing about breakfast is, like usually in inns, when you like go to the main room of the inn, which is in this case is a combination of a big inn and a small fort, because there's a lot of stone with like protective runes and symbols and things. And usually you can go there pretty much any time in the morning after like the sun has come up, and there are like the inn people, in this case a family of elves, making the food and prepping the food. But you wake up, you go downstairs, the sun has risen a while back, and there's no one there. Couple of people, couple of the inn folk who used inn last evening drunk off their, well, everything. They're sleeping or sleeping in the corners of the main room, but there's no personnel to be seen.
Okay, weird.
That's really weird.
Yeah, it's
Isn't this supposed to be like a holy place or something?
and an inn.
Because-
So let's check around.
Yeah, I've never seen holy people sleep in.
Yeah.
And like there's some like breads and like
Where's my
dried.
breakfast?
There's like some like dried things like breads and
Yeah.
and like cereal or like porridge materials and things like they've just put there because they can be there just ready. There's a long counter like this sort of build your own breakfast sort of deal where it's like a
Buffet.
yes.
Does it look like it's purposely left there for people to make your own
Some of them those like filled with grains and things like basically muesli.
Yeah.
Or and like dried raisins and things, they're like left there because they can be out there
Yeah, whenever.
all night,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But like everything fresh is not even
Okay.
started yet.
Hmm.
And you can see like there's the long table and then there's the lowering like the protective
Mhm.
like barrier separating the
Lattice. or
common
something.
area with a kitchen, and that's
Yeah.
lowered and there's a door beside it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Alrighty.
You can smell the sort of faint burning.
Okay, let's check the
Let's
kitchen.
go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's check the kitchen.
I'll go knock on the kitchen door, and after that, if it's open, I'll
Yeah.
swing open.
No answer, so you open the door, and well, there's a basic or a big kitchen. It's very to the point. It's big and it has a lot of jars with like food making materials. And then there's the big long stoves and things, and a couple of the stoves have been set. The burning comes from the fact that the stoves have been like set
They're on.
Yeah. And then you look around and there's the big like center island cutting board area in the middle of the kitchen, and you go past it, and on the far side there are a couple of the elven kids who belong to the personnel down on the ground, and you're like, but then you even hear there's one of them is a young boy and he snores. You remember the kids' fate, you didn't hear any names or anything, but from the clothing and their positions like in the kitchen area, you're pretty sure that they're like personnel.
And the personnel who fell asleep mid working, so there's definitely something fishy and not for breakfast.
Yeah.
Although there's a fridge or like a cooler room. There
Yeah,
might
I
be
can
fish.
help myself, but let's wake up the kids and
Yeah,
ask
yeah,
what
but
the
I'll
fuck.
try to
Yeah.
jostle them a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to be rough or anything.
Yeah,
but-
poke them
Yeah.
with the
You could like you take up one of the kids like lightly on the shoulder
Mhm.
and just like rough like shake him a bit, and he's alive and he's like he says something in Elven and just like flicks an arm and just like
Just
you
be-
get the feeling that 5 more minutes.
Okay, do I sense anything suspicious? Because this doesn't
Yeah,
seem
I mean,
great.
like a normal person, you shake him a little bit more, and he should wake from the fact that he's been shaken, but nothing.
Alright. Can I
Mm,
try to
you stay here, I'll go get Leif. I'll walk out to the kitchen,
yeah.
Mhm.
expecting you to look through this more. While on my way out, you said there were people lying around in the main room. I'll try to go next to them, kick them around a bit.
Yep.
Now I'm not jostling, now I'm kicking because they're
Yeah.
grown-ups.
Yeah. And yeah, so you see a corner with a couple of like very rough-looking farmer people who's just come here to
Mhm.
drink their sorrows away, and they're just like the other ones. Half of his teeth are missing, and he looks like he hasn't took a bath in well, ever. And you just like kick him in the shin like very hard, and he swears. He swears.
So no reaction of waking up. Okay.
Nope. I mean, there's a reaction by hitting.
Yeah. Definitely still asleep and not waking up. I'm gonna head out. Is there a barn or something that we're having our carriage in?
Yeah, there was the big main like fort in building, and then there's a small small extension wing with a stable.
Yeah, stables. Yeah. Knowing that the artificial robot guy, Leif, probably has Warforged has more. Oh, that's not. Yeah. Probably knows more about these magical kind of stuff than I do. I'll go fetch the guy.
Leif had woken up in the stables, and the fact that Hector was sleeping in the side of I3, it's nothing uncommon because you sleep less, or your inactive state is less hours than humans are. But when like you walked out the stables and you almost bump into Jay.
There's a bit of a situation
Describe.
inside. Well, all the actual people that's supposed to be there are missing, and what's left is a couple of trunk tarts and the kids in the kitchen. They're all sleeping and not waking up. Have you checked on Hector? Is he still awake or sleeping?
Proceeding. I move over to Hector and try to turn him around and try to wake him up.
So you
Basically grab his shoulder, flip him back, and just...
Yeah. He reacts, there's a small grunt of pain because you're not as smooth with having him as like a human would, but you don't care. There's a grunt of pain, but he doesn't wake up.
Interesting.
And you can see him breathing.
Yeah.
Because he's a thick boy. He's a little bit of like, not snoring per se, but a very heavy sleeping breathing.
At this point, would Leif...
Also horse.
Would Leif recognize the effects of something akin to a sleep spell?
Well,
or do I need to roll for...
roll for Arcana.
Because if I roll, then there's a chance that it might not work, so... That's... plus... That's 16 with the...
Yeah, so you check him, you check his body and and Ifri's body, the woolly horse's body, and there's no signs or like weird colorings on skin or other signs that they've been poisoned. So the other only option is that there's a weird spell in the air. And when you extend your supernatural senses, you just like feel the air because you're a spellcaster. You feel the air. There's a weird cloud or weird oppression over, like unnatural oppression. It's very faint, but it affects living people, living things. Because there's another horse in the stables also, a very heavily armored, white, very firm and very expensive looking horse, and that's also asleep.
Source of this sort of sleepiness, is it directional in any way that we can sort of easily tell, or do we assume that it's just everywhere?
With that roll, there's no easy immediate like center.
We must assume that we are being ambushed. The fact that you say that Darren, you, and me are still awake points us to the fact that we were meant to be awake.
Or I'm just tough.
We,
you're a machine.
We should investigate if Father Grey is also awake, and as to the wakeness level of both Tim and Nail.
Well, let's head
Gather
out.
them, and then let's meet up again here.
Yeah, let's go.
Just in case the ambush is directed at our mission, we should come back as
You
quickly
go
as
look for
possible.
Tim and Nail. I'll go wake up Gray.
Okay.
Okay.
I head back in, and when I
Yeah.
see Darren, I just say, find Nail, wake him up, bring him back to this sort of main hall of the
Okay.
inn.
Meanwhile, I try to sense like very vaguely if there's something I can know about this sleepiness stuff. I brought the
You have the paladin sense.
Yeah.
It was 60 feet, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do I throw something? or-
No, you
yeah.
detect the immediate presence. You don't feel a specific creature, but
Okay.
the entire area reeks of fey magic.
Oh damn. Okay, I'll let Leif know that there's possible fey magic around, and should we evacuate the people out of here?
I mean, I heard.
They are in no danger, and
Yeah, well.
I don't need to breathe, which in real world sense would mean that my sense of smell is actually not online unless I choose to breathe. But I would assume that I can smell the burning,
Yeah.
so I will be like,
Yeah.
there is a source of fire.
Oh yeah.
Turn it off.
Let's.
If all of the occupants of this building are unconscious, a source of fire is a danger.
Oh yeah. Good thinking.
Good thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. The.
I'll head to Father Gray's room.
Monoxide poisoning.
And I'll go.
Averted.
House burning.
Yeah. Stuff like that. I
I'll-
go dose the fire.
Yeah. I'll do the trick of knocking and opening the door at the same time.
Yeah.
Well,
And barge in on Gray's room.
he lies in his bed. He's very tucked in. He has like his robes and clothes and things handy, but it's a big bed, so it's just like the man himself sleeping under the bed sheets, and his stuff like right there, but he's still asleep.
I assume he is also under this sleeping spell, so I'll go poke him with my gun like.
You
Well,
can
it-
also
he-
draw naughty pictures and.
That crossed my mind, but I'm not that.
Yeah.
Not that.
I
pretty.
would have totally done that.
And
Revenge.
so he is also asleep.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I'll head back to the main room where Leif said us to meet up.
So Daring goes to one of the smaller rooms because Tim and Nail had their like
Yeah.
own common room, and
Oh.
they're both asleep.
Efficient.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
Poke. Nah.
You can smell that Nail has drinking a lot left the evening before, and he will have a hangover, but he still doesn't wake.
Okay. Well, should I just hoist him up and carry? Yeah.
No,
Nah.
if you
No.
find a drunk person, you're supposed to leave them lying on their side. So.
Yeah.
Not upside down.
No.
Oh, yeah.
And not looking straight up either.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe I'll leave them be for time being. We can pile everybody to a great big pile later if needed.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll go back and to report my findings.
And meanwhile, since Darren has gone to find both Tim and Nail, I'm in the common room. Just
Yep.
for a moment, stop. And then I move again with my shield on my left arm, my javelin on the right, and just say, processing finished. Look around, how many bodies are in the room, and did someone look like a sort of, like a drunk person who would just be in the tavern drinking, and not some kind of person who might be missed by the world?
Oh.
Like, there was someone who owns a war horse outside, so probably someone paladini in the room. But I'm guessing that there is someone who
So
is probably...
wait, you carried all the people from the different rooms in the
No,
inn?
no, the ones that were in the common room. Is there
Yeah.
anyone who looks like a low-life drunk?
Oh yeah, the two farmer people who just like passed out and now they're asleep in the corner.
Okay, I get close to one of them, put my hand over their, let's say, left arm,
Mm-hmm.
and just say, this is required for the mission. We must know what we are going up against. And I will just shock and grasp it, try to see if the shock wakes it up. Maybe pain wakes it up. And shocking grasp is
Roll for
fine.
damage.
Yeah. I mean, it's just 1d8.
Yeah.
It's
And a pet,
And
unlikely
he's a
to
peasant
kill.
who has 2 HP.
3 hit
I think
points.
commoners are like 10 or something.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, 3 hit points.
Yep.
Thank God.
It does that. It's immediate. It like you can smell like you can see a burn mark and you can smell like burning hair off his skin, but he doesn't wake up. Doesn't wake up.
Okay. When both of them come back, we must assume that this is some kind of targeted attack.
Okay.
We assume that some kind of creature is coming towards here. Let's head back to the stable and look around. Since both men and horses have fallen, it is not something in our food.
Yeah.
It must be something in the air.
Okay,
Look for birds on the floor and
yeah.
try to see if there's a radius or if there's some kind of direction to it.
Yeah. Before we do anything else, let's get. I assume the boss is out cold, and Tim and Nail, because if worst comes to worst and we have to evacuate, let's put them in the cart, because if there's going to be fairies growing out of the woodwork, then
It will not be possible to move the cart without the horses.
oh yeah, oh damn, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right about that.
I mean,
so
If this is a large area effect, we might not be targeted and we may be able to pass hidden while they go by.
okay,
If this
yeah.
is a targeted effect, it might be just a prelude to some kind of ambush. We don't have time.
Okay. Well,
yeah, and you're in common room and you start moving, and suddenly you hear tapping
oh, fuck.
from one of the windows.
Alrighty.
Can we see out of that window?
Yeah, you just like you. There's a cloth. What's
Okay, yeah.
Window.
Shield up.
Yeah.
Hammer ready.
Grapes.
Window drape.
Yeah.
Thank you. There's a window drape. on
yeah.
the-
I'll go closer to the window because I've encountered a couple of Fae, not that much. But Jay's assumption is that he's the master of Fae and he knows everything about Fae because he's the one who always deals with things and all that stuff. So he goes to the window and, after knowing that it's Fae magic and all that, looks out to the window. Is there anyone?
You move the cloth aside, and there's like small tree with there's an apple tree just outside, and there's one of the branches is a little sticks out of the main tree, and on the there's nothing living outside the tree except on the branch there's a stately raven.
There's a raven.
Yep. And when you move the drape, it looks straight at you into your eyes.
The raven.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I open the window?
Yeah.
I'll open the window.
There's a small lock, but you just look.
I'll open the window.
Yeah, I will move to the door and not open it yet, but trying to see if I go outside depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stand around just.
But I'll open the window and take a lean back a little and so you really followed us here from Karabache. That's a really long way.
The raven opens the other wing and does this sort of bow, and then it looks at you and opens its beak. Yes, my little friend has abilities which I have given to her many a moon ago.
Huh.
Because, well, you did, you got my attention, mortals, and I am here to give you an option. We can do this the civilized way of your humans bargaining, and then I'll let you on your merry way. Can he enter the house?
I almost thought you were gonna say the easy or the hard way. This was
Yeah.
way better.
Yeah.
But I don't actually know. So what do you want?
Yeah. What do you want? I'll shout from
Yeah.
behind you. The warhammer goes up like, what do you want?
So they're like, I'm not trying to be intimidating on anyhow. I'm listening to him, but
Creepy
I'm
guy.
questioning he or she, and what is it you want?
And you can see when the raven opens its beak, the beak just opens, and the voice is somehow projected or like transmitted
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Well, I think it would be better if if she could come in, and then I wouldn't need to shout, so I could get all of you in on this decision. And then the raven is like moving its wings like move, so I fly by.
Yeah, I'll step aside a little.
Do not
Let him
allow
fly.
it entrance. I know of other beings back in my time as a soldier which would request entrance. The wording of this
Okay,
thing
at the
is
same time, I'll turn
important.
back and like,
Yeah, good point. Again,
Focus on both the entrance and the pact or deal portions of this. Let us do one other thing. I go close to the drunk people, the one that has the Leichenberg sort of figure where I burned it with electricity. I just drop it against the wall, take the other one, go towards the window, and just plop it out of the window to see if something happens to it for being outside.
I'm just looking. I'm just
We
looking
are
like
going to get through this the scientific way. We're
Well,
going to test.
The drunk knocks out a peasant,
Yeah,
farmer peasant,
probably
falls
grunts
out
a
the
little or
window
something.
and falls hard because they're unconscious.
It's plopped.
Yeah.
I mean-
Leif, what are you doing?
Observing.
Okay.
You can hear a swear word like someone just landed from approximately 1.5
Yeah.
meters ish to us, basically a uneven stone ground.
I look at that like in the name of science.
We must assume we are being attacked.
All right.
The
And
raven-
we speak to you outside. We're not inviting you in. You mysterious creature.
Ah, well done, young ones. I've been waiting for a match for my intelligence, and now I think you just.
I wasn't.
That's the one that
And
has bad.
I do appreciate the snack, but my friend has just eaten, so that won't be necessary.
Human eater. Yeah.
Well, ravens are scavengers, or
Yeah.
basically omnivores. They
Yeah.
eat pretty much anything.
I only have intelligence of 15.
In-game question.
Yeah.
How many hit points does a raven
11.
have?
So yeah.
I should be the smart one, but
Normal ravens
Yeah.
have about, I think it's 4
Okay.
without checking.
I
In
can
which
go
case,
poke
yeah.
it.
No. I have a plan.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Well, but I'm not going to voice
tell
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't voice it. We have.
I have a contingency plan.
Okay.
Yeah. Just for the heck of it.
In this current situation, I believe that my role is that of a field commander.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Jay, you will provide fire cover, and Darren, you will be able to breach through
Stuff.
a heavy resistance.
Actually,
Yes.
At this point, I will venture out and try to locate this friend. I will stay within viewing distance, and I don't know exactly how to say it, but within quick movement range of the house, basically within one movement sort of distance,
Yep.
so that if I see something spooky, I can just run back and crash through the window into the inn,
Yep.
if needed.
Yep.
But I think that I am the least useful in the sense of combat, so I'm going to go out and try to lure whatever it is to take a bite,
Okay.
if needed.
Yeah. So
At which point I open the door, go out, close the door, and I move in front of the window where the raven was.
Yep.
Go towards the raven and say, "Very well. You said that you would not shout. I am here. Explain what was your proposition."
Excellent. So the night lady can hear us too?
I will not reveal how many of my companions are awake.
Why do you think that only you three are awoke? Why did you do the others sleep while you are just awakened? Okay, you are a problem. You're problematic in and of itself, but I would have tricks for you.
Is that tree of yours important to you?
This is not my tree. All of these trees and all of the crops here are of the temple. Technically, it's the. Let's not go to who owns whatever. It's shenanigans.
Start talking more clearly, or I shall deploy a threat.
Oh, you want clear?
Do
You
you mean
want
my guns?
Oh man!
Not needed yet.
Oh, damn.
So you want just plain ultimatums, eh?
Just give
The
us whatever
deal
information
is-
you have.
The deal is this. You took away one of my children and I want him back. You took him and you chained him into a house of hopelessness,
Oh,
of
gosh.
violence, of nothing in a sense of a future.
Guilty as charged.
I do not agree with your explanation of the facts. I vividly remember giving that young organic the option of doing whatever its programming said of it, and I remember receiving a message telling that the message had been received, that the organic had gotten my note and had not chosen to get away.
Yeah,
We were going-
basically
Because
was a
he
chance-
wasn't
choice.
given the option. In the morning that you left, Fastida told me that you guys just left, and of course his brother didn't come out to see you or to help you or to take out your message or your note or whatever, because he was locked in the cellar.
Irrelevant. Has nothing to do with our party.
Ah, but it has everything to do with your party, because you could have made sure Fastida and his brother would have been reunited under the care of the forest and, by extension, me.
You know, under that logic, I could just also shoot you.
If all you require of us is
Just
pr- if-
bitching my one.
yeah.
Continue.
The deal is this. I have planted a piece of parchment on the edge of the clearing of the inn, on the side of the wood. It is a sign. It is a forgery of a letter of the church. In the letter, the church commands the family to let go of the child and let him be on his merry way. And I only need you to sign it. If you sign it, I will wake everyone in the tavern, and all will be as it was.
Slight problem. The person who would sign it, Father Gray, who would never sign it, but I'm saying it out loud.
And
is-
exactly that is the reason why I
is-
chose not to
is-
awaken the priest.
Is well. Do you want us to do a forgery of it?
You are a knight. You are a paladin, are you not?
Yes. So, I'm
Wrong
highly.
church, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, wrong church. Yeah, I have nothing
It
to
is-
do
it-
with the unknown people choices.
You
I serve a different god.
It is. It is irrelevant because the gods are the gods. It is Omnold or Coraxus or any one of the gods. If you are sworn to that god, you are a servant of the temple. When you're with your name in the paper, they will not disobey. They dare not.
Well, yeah. Well, if someone has to take the fall for this, if let's just I kind of go to the Jay and whisper. If someone has to take the fall for this, I can do it, but we must make sure that Father Gray does not find out, because I am deep enough of a shit already.
I mean, I think we should just forge your Father Gray's signature.
Yeah,
there.
indeed.
I will.
Why not?
At this point, I will talk to the crow again. I I require more intelligence to perform this action. Please provide. What would befall that young organic? And is it the choice of the young organic to go? Is it in its programming to become one with the forest?
You saw how the brothers reacted when they saw each other. You
Irrelevant.
saw
Is
how
it-
much better the older brother's life is now.
That is irrelevant. Is it in its programming? Is it what it's meant to do? What it was made for?
Well, organics are made to live with their families, are they not?
One person is less family than the rest of them.
She would have a mother in me. Or this is just this is just the body from which I talk to, because I don't. To be honest, after what you did there, I did not dare to approach you myself because I don't trust you guys, and especially you. For you automaton thing.
Where is the location of this paper? Like how far is it
You
from
look
the?
at like there's the stone circle around the inn,
Yeah,
and
how-
just
how-
at the edge of the
How,
stone
how many
circle.
feet is it from the inn?
Oh yeah.
Because of reasons.
yeah.
Just 50-ish. 50, yeah.
Very well. I shall retrieve it. I put the javelin in the same hand that I have the shield and go and get the paper.
Yeah, it's a piece of parchment which, with like very politely and very officially the same things as the Raven told you. And then there's just a line with signature, signed by name.
I will grab the piece of paper and I say, we shall consider. We'll provide a response within an hour. And I turn to go towards the inn, paying very close attention to if anything attacks me, because if anything seems to have any kind of hostile intent towards me, I may have something in mind to get to the inn faster.
All right.
Do you think they know common in a way that they can read common? In a way that they differentiate between
I-
signatures?
I guess that I would hear that and I'm like, interesting. I turn towards it and say, are you able to read this message?
Ah.
Well,
No, the message that it's in the parchment. Like,
Yeah.
are you able
Yeah.
to read this?
Of course I can read it. I made it myself.
Very well. I take the shield and just tweak a couple of gears. It rearranges into the message that I saw written on the cleaning notice that was on the street. The one in a language that I was able to read, but I did not recognize what language it is because I've forgotten that I know that language. Are you able to identify the writing system in this?
Of course I am. I'm able to recognize that language.
Please? What is the writing system here and located? It might influence our decision with the contract that you've
Well,
provided.
the writing is basic. It's loosely based on a weird old writing system used by the ancient people. But basically, the language is our language of the forest.
Hmm. Interesting.
I think the word you use in common is for our language is Sylvan.
That does sound familiar.
Okay.
Very well.
Let
We shall provide an answer within an hour.
Yeah. Okay.
I go towards the inn again. I grab peasant and I go through the window
Yeah.
and drop it again in the
Yeah, he took,
floor
a couple,
side.
he took like 1 point of falling damage or
Yeah.
whatever, so
Dear.
whatever.
I put it next to the one that took 3 points of.
He's gonna
Electric
wake up in the
damage.
morning.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a rough hangover.
Oh yeah. I'm
And-
so
and the other-
There's a bruise side half his
Yeah,
back.
and there's this
Burning marks
burning
on it.
marks. What
Woo,
did I
what
do
a
last
night.
night?
Okay.
Dwarven ale.
Okay, so what do we do? The easiest way out would just be to, you know,
I put my hand up.
yeah.
Keep
Mhm.
silent.
Okay.
try to go to some place that doesn't have a window to the outside and try to gesture
The
for them
raven
to.
just like
Yeah, it doesn't
sitting
come in.
on its
Yeah.
chamber door, leaf of the.
Yeah.
But I'd assume if we are in the main chamber,
Yeah.
and it's a larger room,
Yeah.
if we just go opposite of the window to the other side of the room while still seeing that the raven is like.
Well, distance makes like it's harder to hear from a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to go to some kind of room that doesn't have a vision to the outside.
Well, you can go to upstairs to the like sleeping
Corridor or like
corridor,
a-
yeah.
any place
Yeah, let's
that,
go to the
that doesn't have direct
upstairs
vision to the
corridor.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I will write
Okay.
in paper and just show it to them so that I'm not
Yeah.
saying it, just in case it can only hear us or
Mhm.
see things from the outside. And the paper just says, I can, like, I am perfectly able to do the signature in the name of Father Gray, and I can do it in such a way that at will I can make that message disappear from the paper. Using the magical
No
tinkering ability, I can make a
evidence.
small thing in which it might be spotted, which could be dangerous, but it should appear perfectly normal. And I say,
Yeah.
before that, I will attempt to discern if there is anything hidden in this paper. And I just take out my jeweler's loop, take 10 minutes, and cast Identify on the paper, just to see if there's any hidden. If you sign here, you're also signing your soul to some kind of devil or some other thing.
No.
I
No, it's just a
borrow,
paper.
Yeah,
borrow
it's
pen.
I mean,
Yeah.
the ink is it's not the normal like academic ink. It's a weird mixture of like natural
Yeah.
pigments and stuff.
So
Yeah.
let's go this through.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
if he wants to sign it on, put Father Gray's name under it. The fake creature would go with the note to the family
Yeah.
and insist on them on releasing the boy.
Yeah. And
Would they? The family isn't any on a high tier of the church or anything.
they're
So
country bumpkins.
yeah. So basically they would have no place or nowhere to complain about it.
Yeah.
And on the other, and also if they were actually hiding all that stuff already from the church,
Yeah.
why would they ever go to anyone to complain about it?
They probably wouldn't. The
Yeah,
thing that I am attempting to prevent is giving another child to this
Yes,
entity.
that's where I was going
The
to,
fact
like-
that we've been followed points to it being far more powerful than we know. We do not understand what it wants the child for,
Yeah.
and it seems to be sort of posed against the civilization of man, which I am sworn to protect. So
Yeah.
I do not believe that it's in our best interest to provide it with any kind of aid.
Yeah, what I've learned to know about Fae, like, you don't want your children to get snatched by a Fae.
But what kind of I'm sorry to play the devil's advocate here, but what kind of life that child is going to have? It's gonna be beaten and used as a slave labor and not really cared very much. Maybe it has a better life out there in the wild. If it already has mystical fae blood, that makes it just, let's it's like a fox that's kept inside. It belongs in the nature. Maybe just saying. Well, what harm could it? Well, yeah. Well, actually, could do a lot of harm, but
That has no relevance here.
it's
It will
a
do.
morality
It will do whatever
question.
it is programmed to do,
Yeah.
as all things do.
Yeah.
If it is destined to live the life of a slave, that is what it will do. It will become just a tool for others to employ.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
think you really grasp the humanity part of humans.
Yeah. We.
But good,
Yeah.
you'll get there someday, probably.
Yeah.
Very well.
Well.
Do we sign it in ink, or do we attempt to fool
I'm
this
I'm still
entity?
wondering about an option because
Yeah.
I don't like either of the options.
Yeah. Well.
And
Another option is
I'd like to
we-
give the child a choice, but
Yeah.
how do we achieve that?
Yeah.
We already tried that once.
Yeah.
If
Oh, yeah.
we change the letter
That can be done.
in a way of the church saying that the family has to give the child a choice.
Oh no! That Father Gray would never sign something like that. Even the country bumpkins will know something is up when there's kind of the.
No, no,
Yeah.
we'll write in a way of
Do
this child has been accused of being fey blood.
Do
Now
any
he
of-
must show his
True allegiance.
allegiance to the church or be abandoned forever.
Oh yeah, so, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are,
No, no.
are any of you capable of telling when a message has been delivered? I may be able to layer my small magical effects on this
Yeah.
letter such that I put the letter that we want the child to read, and on top put a copy of this letter with the signature. So we
Okay.
can make the signature go away after it has been delivered, so that the second message can be read by the child.
No, but
After the child is freed from the family and before it enters the forest, at that point it will have a choice of either continuing to the forest or going back to the house on its
Yeah.
own
yeah,
accord.
but I don't think we need to trick the Fae in any way.
Yeah.
I want to be straight with the Fae and
Yeah.
tell them.
We're going to
I want to
leave the
show
child
fingers
as
to both of
child.
them, and tell the Fae like, no, this is our version, and you're gonna go with it.
Yeah. If you want the child
I
has
don't.
a choice.
I do not have the ability of doing that.
No,
Okay.
ability of writing
Yeah.
a
Well,
letter.
It will be noticed.
Okay.
Well, of course it's gonna be noticed. I mean, it's the same thing about like forging the signature of Gray on that parchment and forging it on another one.
It
Oh,
will be
dear.
noticed by the fake entity.
Yeah, yeah,
if
of
we
course.
deliver a letter with a different wording.
Of course, we're gonna tell
yeah.
them.
Yeah. We tell
We're
them.
gonna say that this is our
Yeah.
version, and you're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
Or no bueno.
Yeah.
Comprende. I've learned a lot of languages on my way.
Well, let
So you
Yeah.
guys start formatting a different letter for the Fae.
maybe if they've agreed to try it.
What do you say?
I'm
with that
not
way-
won over. I'm going to just sit and basically just brood while you write the other letter, just in case I
Okay.
come up with a better plan.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good time for our small break, when the party fix up the new letter and the new benefits and things for the letter, and we will see you all in 15 minutes.
Yes. And we're live.
Yes.
Quick.
Welcome back.
Don't say anything stupid.
What stupid things?
Camera's running.
In my role-playing game? No.
Never.
So, the party made a new letter for the Fae creature.
Mhm.
It was session
Yeah.
1 and 2, which I will make a recap of later.
Yes. We've spent the last 15 minutes talking about nothing else but the letter
Yes,
and
yes,
what
indeed.
will be written on it.
Oh yes.
And Jay is going to tell you what we agreed on.
In the
Low,
letter,
low.
it tells this child. We've received intelligence that this child is been infected with Fey blood,
Yes.
and as a test of true faith, we now give you the choice. The child the choice.
Yes.
You can see it in the part with a couple of scribbles like over there.
In different hands.
Yeah.
That child the choice.
Choice
Yes.
the child.
Yes.
To remorse and show his true allegiance to the church, or be banished into the woods.
Yes.
Signed.
Edgar Gray.
What's Edgar's? Is priest or a high priest or
He's a
a-
pri- he's a-
he's
he's
a
a
priest.
Father
yeah.
Edgar
Father
Gray.
Father Gray.
Yes.
Father Gray.
Yes.
Yeah. Go on, I leave the signature to Leif.
Yeah. I just consulted. I have nothing to do at this forgery. If someone asks, yes, it's all on your guys. Nice.
Evil plans by an evil paladin. Very smooth. very
No, I have a
Popping.
different fate.
Fallen paladin.
Yes.
I haven't fallen yet, and I do not plan
But
to.
I'm now going with the parchment. Like, can I get the signature, please? Please.
Let's.
Can I get the signature?
Let me correct the spelling mistakes first. Or was it this way? Yes. Now that's perfect. Please.
I'm gonna go.
Yes.
I'm gonna go left.
Just
The signature.
give me a moment.
Hey, the signature.
I just need to find something.
Hey, listen. No, wait, that's
Ding
fake.
ding 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 ding.
I'm just checking something because I need to
Okay,
see
that's right.
what are the limits of my static visual effect. How big can I
And
make it?
Let's hope that Father Grey never finds out because he is going to murder you guys. I of course have nothing to do with this. But-
And because he's a priest, he can murder you,
Bollocks.
bless you, and then murder you again.
Oh yeah.
Ah, up to 25 words of text. I cannot do the whole message this way. I can
Okay.
only do parts of it.
Do
But
what?
you-
I can only I can do the signature fine. I was thinking about doing most of the message, which says you have no choice but to give the child away from the family and send it away
Hmm?
either during the night or during the day, but into the forest. And then turn off a lot of the words so that it says choice, family or forest.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
But it's too many words,
Damn.
so I cannot do that. So I will just sign in the dotted line, say Father of Grey, using real ink because, well, who cares about smart plans anymore?
Hey.
It was a smart plan. We give the child a choice.
On our standard, it was very smart.
You wanna hand it over to the Fae, or like what makes it like?
And I write on the other scroll, again, Father Edgar Grey, but the one that I can turn off at will. I will
Okay.
roll that one over, put it into my thing, take the other one, the one that has all of the bits sort of corrected, and at the bottom says Father Grey in real ink, and go to the Fae and say, we have a counter offer.
So the raven looks at the piece of parchment, and then it looks at its wings, and it's like, you could open the beak, and it's like, oh, right. And then you can see a mage hand appearing, which takes the parchment and opens it because like it's very dexterous, being not corporeal. And it opens and then puts the parchment
In front
under
of-
the eyes of the raven, and the raven is like, interesting. Would have not really thought you guys would bargain. Didn't think you guys would start to bargain. I was just waiting for a chance to test a couple of new things I've made for fighting, but
Slash, you're
mortals?
thinking we're stupid or something?
No, I just know you humans are bloodthirsty, and I'm not vouching if he's any better. It's
Had
any
you
better.
killed everyone here, you would see another side of us. But you
Yeah,
have.
but the thing is, why would I kill mortals when? Why would I break my toys? And the raven, raven's eyes are pure black, so you can see it very clearly. But the raven does enough of a dramatic eye roll that you can see it, even though the eyes are pretty much black. So this would lead to, and then it would make. Okay then. A deal's a deal. I get my other child freed from prison, and you get whatever these people mean to you. Okay then. Okay, buddy. Take the thing. And the raven just takes one of its talons, takes the parchment, and with the help of the mage hand, just rolls it to a smaller pile, and then the raven once again bows to you and flies away.
I don't suppose. God damn it! I should have asked.
What?
Like, how long does the sleep still
Oh,
last?
yeah. Well, there's still maybe time to do.
At this point, I
Embarrassing
go quickly
positions.
back to the box and just
Mhm.
open the block. It will say acid spray incoming, blah 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 blah. Just open it, make sure that the inner box is still there.
Yeah.
In which case, I'll lock it again and go back.
You're just leaving the box when you can hear this sort of very weak, very sleep groggy. Ivory is just like raised his head and just like looks around and is confused and sleep groggy, and then like moves himself just to like push Hector on his side, and Hector's like, what the what what time Ivory is and then he's just like, oh shh, the sun is up, we should have been, oh shh, and then he just like scrambles his armors and weapons and just like pushing off like hay and starts running out the the stable door. Alright. And he goes outside. You can see Hector running out the stable, and he looks very like he just raised up and put armor on like 10 seconds flat, and he's like very sleepy looking, but he's like ready to like whatever, anything.
Okay, do we see people waking up around the tavern?
Yeah, you can hear this. You go inside the main room and you can hear this sort of weird, confused speaking, and then a couple of shouts in Elven from the kitchen, and then the rumbling sound of like food being brought up and cooked like very fast.
Hey, Jay, should we pretend to be asleep as well? Yeah, actually. Yeah, we slept too, so no awkward questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said.
Oh dear, oh my, what has been happening?
Yeah, and then there's a sort of, you can see, you just barely see it when there's the small hallway, entrance hallway, and there's a hidden door on the, because when you come inside there's a left side you go to the common room, and on the right side there's just this plain wooden
A wooden paneled
yes,
wall.
yes, and one of the panels moves, and the elven woman who's the other owner comes out and just like and looks very confused and very angry and very paranoid and like what the hell just happened, and then she goes to the like common room and then behind the counter and to the kitchen, and they start speaking in very fast Elven. They're
Oh dear.
kind of sort of panicked.
Okay. I put on my best sleepy face and stagger around and nudge Leif, and still we decided that we were asleep as well. If someone asks, do not allow suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh dear. What has been happening? Hector, do you know what
I don't-
time is this?
I
mean,
I'm sorry, don't no one tell Father Grey I overslept. I have done this in ages, because everything's fine. Everything. Hector
Yeah,
just
yeah.
he walked inside and
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
just like
yeah.
patrolling around and looking very official like.
Yeah, I overslept actually too. Very weird. I don't know what came over me. I
Oh.
was maybe I drank too much last night.
Yes,
That is possible.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Yeah.
The wine, the temple wine is stronger than we
Yes,
anticipated,
indeed.
and that's why.
Yes, because that has never happened to me
He has
in
a
at least a week. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I just take the paper that I had, like the original one, 'cause it doesn't seem to be any kind of like important paper, magic paper,
Yep.
'cause I would have known, or anything that is actually useful. The message is what it says. I just throw it up in the air and like bonfire it, so it just goes away.
Hopefully outside.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, 'cause you were just getting out the stables. And
Hopefully.
you were outside, so probably. And like Hector is still,
Just like,
he
go away.
ran inside and looked like patrolling with his spear,
Yeah.
and then he walked outside, and he's less stressed now, but because you have a cover story.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
that's- yeah,
You're just
the-
like, nice. when you fly
Yeah.
over. Nice.
Yeah. Should we go and see if Father Gray is around? Who wants to go?
Nope.
Me neither. Maybe he'll come.
He'll come down
Yeah, he'll come down.
when he's ready.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, and he overslept. Oh dear. Oh
Yeah.
dear.
Don't think anyone,
Yeah.
one of us who's overslept is gonna go
Yeah.
get into any trouble since he's
Yeah.
overslept himself.
Yeah. Actually, let's make a bet. I bet that he doesn't even mention this because that's, this is kind of embarrassing to be overslept so much.
I would take that bet, but I would be betting the same side.
Yeah. Well,
Bad bet zero, I would not recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear a
5
the-
out of 7 would not recommend.
Yeah.
You can hear a sound of opening and closing doors and walking steps down from the second room, like sleeping areas, down to the common room. People are walking out and just like talking with each other. Oh, you two slept, like okay.
I'll go to the one person I know has a nasty burn and say, oh, you seem to have injured yourself. Better get some water. Let me help you. I'm a paladin, you know.
I felt like I have this weird sleeping.
Yeah, don't breathe on me. Oh my God.
It's like mixture of every bad alcohol
Yeah.
you've ever eaten.
I
like,
get drunk even just
Yeah.
being in the same room.
like Sir Darin has grown up in the lower parts
Yeah.
of one of the big cities, like the literal underground, and even that part of the city doesn't have as bad smelling alcohol as is in the farmer's breath.
Ooh,
As
yeah.
farmer's breath.
Yeah. Well, I'll get you a towel to that burn. And next time you drink, maybe not lean on the braziers or whatever you've been doing. Looks
Yeah.
painful.
Yeah, the other guy who's just like sleeping on
Is
the
there
side,
a-
just like
Is
he's also
it
like,
hand?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, is there like a straight up hand markings around there?
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
With
probably a
couple of
brazier.
bolts and
Yeah, it's a shocking grasp. So
Yeah.
it's
So-
that and the Lechtenberg figures with the
Yeah. Yeah, so
burn
he
around
looks
it.
like he's been
Yeah.
hit by lightning. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. And the other guy who's just like he's sitting on the bench next to him and he raised up and like, oh my back! What did you do, man? Did you get us into a fight? And the two clearly hang up and still drunk. Farmers start to fight about who started the tavern brawl this time and something about their relatives and language which I will not say out loud in a stream like this because it's very graphical and very violent.
Yeah.
well, they kind of deserve.
Someone
I'll
gets
take
called a
those.
son of a donkey, or
Yeah.
your father wishes he was a newt, or
Yeah.
some other
Or
kind
your
of.
or your father was a hamster or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
your mother smelled of
of
elderberries.
elderberries.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
We're all
local
people
dialect.
of culture.
Yes.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Yes. Well, I helped the poor
About
guys.
a flesh wound.
Yes.
Yeah, and quickly cover the mysterious burn mark with
Yeah.
some rag.
Yeah, and like because you have the paladin lay on hands, you
Yeah.
can just like heal him a couple of points and
Yeah,
he'll probably
yeah.
just like get out.
Yeah, I have a soft spot to drunkards. My family, has many, so yeah, I know the horrors of a bad hangover.
And he's just like he starts like making sense of the world, but his speech is so slurry and so broken. It's like I do understand common, I don't understand you.
Yeah, I don't speak drunkenese.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although your so there's something your captain didn't teach you.
Yeah. Yeah. Since I think that I feel like I haven't done my best with the whole fairy situation, I will just go to the kitchen, get a glass of a mug of water, go outside, dig away some of the dirt, pour it down, and try to make some mud and try to just craft a little clay bowl. which if I manage to do, I will fire with my bonfire.
Yeah.
Just
You
to
try
do
to get to
something.
the kitchen, but the innkeeper stops your way and just like, we will get breakfast out there soon. Here's the water. You can just like she pours it out to you. Like there's the long buffet table and there's a big barrel that she just lifted there. A big barrel filled with water, and you get the water and you get the small. In time, you get a small bowl.
Made.
of
Okay.
clay. Yeah. And
I just fire it, and after it's done, I will go inside and tell the farmer who was burned. Previous evening, you got burned attempting to fire this bowl. I have finished your work for you. Here you go.
what the fuck was I do a bowl for? Or maybe I was trying to please my partner, because I did a thing and then he wasn't very pleased. So thanks, buddy. If you want a beer, just it's on me. So, and
No, thank you.
in the meanwhile, one of the Ellen kids just brought two big plates of like hangover like food, fatty bacons and eggs and like a couple of assorted meats and things.
Thank you, Coraxus. For this meal we are about to receive.
Yeah, she brings it to others if need be. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely be just eating.
Yeah.
hanging around.
It's noon, so it's time for lunch
I
already.
don't know. Assuming it would go that the same way when Father Grey wakes up.
Yeah,
He's
we're
gonna be
late.
the one ordering the wagon for
Yeah.
Yeah.
moving and all
Yeah,
that
so-
stuff.
I have one little rules question. Now that
Yep.
you were mentioning hangover food, which is generally fatty.
Yeah.
If I were to cast grease on food, it will make it fatty, but would it also make it comedically impossible to stab with a fork?
Probably yes.
I will keep it for annoying people.
Oh no. Oh,
Yeah. You are.
I can
this-
inhale bacon.
This is exactly the
You are
sort
no
of,
match for me.
This is exactly the sort of creativity a GM hopes from the players with their spells. Actually, yeah.
Captain Buskill.
Yeah.
Hey, other day I was asking if I can purify
Leave the
food and
good
water
time
to make
winner.
things non-alcoholic. Now I'm finding out how to make people just spend 5 minutes trying to like stab that olive that is on the plate, and you really can't.
Yeah, you just like we need to put the Benny Hill theme just.
Yeah, and then you grab it, and it's like a
Do
comedy
you then
soap
hear
where it
from the
just goes.
background like the mechanic. Ha 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 ha.
Humor deployed.
Humor.
Levity
Oh,
ensues.
no.
But yeah, so you
Yeah.
guys get your food, and Neil and Tim will join you guys. Neil is hungover, and Tim is a little bit. He's still buzzed with alcohol. He's still a sort of happy chap,
Oh,
and
dear.
also
Yeah.
maybe a little like on the sleepy side. So he just like gets a couple of mugs of coffee and just like brings them up. And you sit there in silence and eat your breakfast. Some other people come from the upper floors to get breakfast, and all of them are thinking about how did we sleep this late and why are we this groggy, and like many people have like realized that they slept too long and they're a little bit confused. But some are like, did we get cursed? Or no, we cannot get cursed. You can see a couple of people who are like, did we get cursed? And a small voice from beyond their table talks out in a very low bass. No, we did not get cursed because we are on the hallowed land of the Grand Temple.
Indeed, all hail Omnaut. This is sacred ground.
Yeah.
Of course, we cannot get cursed here.
Yeah.
If the church was nicer to me, I would give them a pointer that they have an obvious crack on the armor, but it's not my business.
And Sir Darin says this out loud.
No, of course
Okay,
not.
excellent.
I am just thinking it smugly.
Yeah.
What's the spell that Father Grey usually uses to see if things are going to go well or not?
Scrying, I think.
No, it's not scrying. It's the
Is it augury?
Oh,
Yes.
Augury, yes.
Okay, because augury is something that you are going to do in the next 30 minutes. Yeah, because if not, I was going to ask, has this sleeping situation negatively affected our thing? In which case, he would also be unconsciously asking about the message we've sent if it's going to impede our progress. But we cannot do that because that's in the past.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oops.
like the third voice, the source of the third voice becomes apparent when a small halfling, a very like thick, strong halfling person walks from behind the table. He carries on his back a very big sword. For him, a very big sword, anyways. And he looks like he has some pieces of armor on his, but basically he like night jammies. And he walks around like very affirmatively, and it looks and like patrols the area, and then sees you guys. So, you're the three looking at this rabble. I assume you're the three that came with the other priest.
Yes. And
Mhm.
who might we have the honor of talking to?
I am Sir Hugo of the Grand Temple. I came here with Father Robiscus from the from the Northern Temple. We are on our way to the capital because of reasons the father knows, but which I don't care because my job is to guard him.
And he came with Father
Bobiscus.
Robiscus.
Brobiscus.
Bobiscus.
Robiscus. Okay.
Robiscus. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
If it can be heard incorrectly,
Yep.
it will be heard incorrectly.
So, Bobiscus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he tells that you guys that Father Bobiscus and he have left the Grand Temple of Lumen, which is a very big crystal, halfly crystal temple up north in the northern edge of the Vale, and they're headed for the capital because
Reasons.
Father Robiscus wanted there. He doesn't care.
Okay.
And this guy is a paladin of the
Yes.
Church of Omnod.
Yes.
I assume you have heard there's some disturbances on the road, some kind of arsonist on the loose.
Yes.
Yes.
That was a most troubling incident because this sort of foul weaponry should not be used.
Indeed.
I'm assuming that those bastards of Tempestio have deployed some sort of weird arcane
a fanatic.
thing.
Yay! Yeah, indeed.
Well,
I-
the eastern city of Tempestio is an arcane invention city, and they are known to deploy experimental weapons. But the assumption that one would be this far west is
Yeah.
kind of tinfoily.
I was thinking about whipping out my gun and asking like one of these, but then I just
No,
sucked my code in a little bit more.
do not rile the obvious fanatic.
Yeah.
But
And
just smile and nod until he goes away.
the small knight looks at you like analyzes all of you five, and is like, so do you capable warriors have any more any new information, any information on the weirdness that happened here?
Around here.
I appear to not have been affected. It appears to have affected both man and beast.
I was
It
sleeping.
lasted for somewhere between the time that I
guy
powered
going
down
you
for the
guys?
evening and 1 hour after what would have normally been sort of daybreak for our party.
I am just
Well.
shrugging in fear that this person has some kind of
I am-
detect lie or
I am
who knows? Who knows?
like I regret that I cannot provide you more information. And if you want to see how creative I am,
Yeah, roll for performance or deception, your choice.
I don't have thingy in either. So if it was persuasion, that one I have. Not 20.
Natural
Oh,
20.
okay,
Ooh.
never mind. Yeah.
-1, so it's a 19. But
But
still,
like, I mean,
we're doing it.
20 isn't the best. Is
Yeah.
always isn't the best thing ever, but it's the best.
You can do.
Thing in this situation. And he's like, well,
Yeah, poker face.
yes,
I'm a robot.
yes.
Yeah.
He's like, he would be the best thing in a poker table.
You know, your robot face and your eyebrows just suddenly.
Yeah, my eyebrows start coming up and I go, nick, nick, nick.
I have heard that these sort of speaking tools are very handy, but I do have to hand it to you that carrying one of these with you it's still blasphemy, but it is better than I would have believed.
No, I wouldn't
thank
know.
you for your kind words.
I wouldn't know. I'll leave the judgment to you if it's just a speaking thing. Like, but yeah, he's useful.
I don't doubt it. And then you hear sort of small, like, what's
Finger snapping?
finger snapping and a couple of short whistles, and the halfling is like, excuse me, gentle people and thing. I do believe that I need to get myself into riding condition because we are about to leave this place.
Safe
Bless-
journeys.
Blessings of the temples, and
Thank you very quick.
stay out of trouble.
Yes, yes, indeed.
He seems to put a sharper glance on Jay for some weird reason.
Well, he is the most shady of us all.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I am wearing a paladin robe.
As
I
close to a
am-
rogue as you get without being actually a rogue.
Yeah.
You can see
You
there,
shady
there will
person,
be
you.
pictures on our Facebook page, so you can see it there. But yeah, and the small halfling knight goes away and takes approx 10 minutes, and then you can hear him clanking down because he's in full armor with a sword, and with him walks down a white-robed priest of Omnold. And he just like looks at the in the common room. The halfling knight points at you and says something to the priest.
Okay.
There are other people and a bard starting to play on the corner,
Yeah.
on the stage in the corner. You can't hear what they say, but the priest is like, and then does the holy symbol,
Nice. Yes.
and then they get out, and you can hear like the writing sounds.
It's sad that Father Gray did not meet his fellow pompous person. They would have had a competition of being, I don't know, annoying.
Holier than thou.
Holier than thou. Yeah.
You mean drinking brandy and
Yeah,
having
and
having
snobbing.
small talk for 30 minutes?
Yeah.
What the hell why do you think the priest didn't come to breakfast?
Oh, aha. Yeah.
There was some meat of pompousness upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys get your breakfast, and meanwhile, well, Hector gets a little bit of breakfast, but he mainly preps the horses to get out of here.
Okay. And no sign of Father Gray. Should somebody really go wake him up?
Nah.
Well, we can.
You can go, but
I'm not going.
I'll just wait
no.
around
No, I
because no.
It takes 10-15 minutes. Father Gray walks down, points at you like, and then he walks. He gets out.
glad we had that breakfast.
Yeah.
And
Bringing
I
up
would
the
have,
rear, going back to the
I
box.
would have won the bets had we had one.
Yep. And then, like 30 seconds later, Hector runs in to the counter, talks something, whispers something to the elven woman. She's like, and then goes back into the kitchen, takes takes a little bit of time, and then walks out with a small, like, sack, and then gives it to Hector, and Hector does the holy gesture, and then runs back to the carts.
In case anyone is wondering, the holy gesture is this one.
No.
according to the three of us,
This
Yeah.
one is this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one? No. I'll figure it out. But yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Well, you are on the west
We
side.
each
So.
have different holy
Yeah.
jesters.
We all believe in different versions of
Indeed,
Omnold.
indeed.
Yes.
I use this one.
I think, yeah. Holy jester.
Oh yeah. You get to the carts. They've been set ready. The horses are pulling are in front of the cart. Hector is sitting there with his crossbow and spear and looking like very. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. He looks very overcompensating.
That someone is, because we are usually undercompensating.
Father Gray sits inside and he's
Yeah.
very thinking. He's very sort of zone out in a manner that someone is when they are thinking about
He,
a lot of stuff.
yeah, I think that it's like he's trying to hold everyone else to such high standards that when you make a mistake of sleeping in,
Yeah.
you just keep quiet and hope no one notices.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna speak. I'm not gonna speak.
You guys get inside and he like nods at you and like you exist to him. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just like okay, welcome. And then moving on.
Yes.
Then
Yep.
the cart leaves pretty fast, I might add.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're getting closer.
yeah, you are getting closer to Fumurvas, and yeah,
Scots free. Ooh.
yes. For the moment,
Yeah.
I think that I will take some of the metal that I have from the blades that were in the sack of straw from a couple of sessions ago, and using my my artificer sort of kit to recreate a set of jeweler's tools, and then just spend the day, if nothing else is going to happen, just sort of playing with the metal and making a couple of pretty steel rings that I may sell in the city.
and like you've been riding for a couple of hours. Father Gray seems to get just like you could see the sack he got his breakfast. He got some breads and like dry assortments of things and just eating there. And when a couple of hours have passed, he's like looks from the window and is like, Hector, we stop for nothing. Move the horses. They will rest when we get to the city. And then
That fast.
then sits down and just like kind of zones out.
All right.
Okay.
And
Having heard that, then I will take the decoy lantern that I built a couple of sessions ago, take away the glass panels, and with my jeweler's tools again, like cut the glass so it looks sort of gemmy-like. I'm making these steel and glass rings, which are obviously not very high priced, but a commoner might want it.
yeah.
I'll make them as well as I can with the very, very cheap materials that I have.
Yeah. So the rest of the day you can see like you ride past carts of people of varying races and lifestyles. There are because when winter comes, many of the surrounding area people want to go inside the city because it's safer. You have left the side of the Vale of Miseriath, so there's nothing like both sides of the big road is the sort of crisscross patterned forest slash field areas, and like it's not this lush, but it's lush-ish, but you can sense the approaching winter. Like a cold wind.
Yes.
Cold wind is in the air. And like
Approaching winter.
yes.
Non-trademarked.
Yes. Downloading 35% or something, and like before.
cheap cutoff. Winter is approaching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it definitely is.
Yeah. Too much Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. But yeah. So like the rest of the normal nature areas, normal wilderness of the western provinces, the entire land is poxmarked and like scarred with like small plants, small areas of wood and fields, and then there's this sort of like scarred areas with pretty much nothing growing on it, and this is like the entire nature of the western provinces, and it's weird. Well, the entire land looks like it's been scarred by some huge ancient apocalypse, to like
Mhm.
for lack of a better word. Here and there you can see small farmlands and smithies and very small villages, and most of them seem to have people just like leaving the area. There are some which are more fortified than others. Those are just like being fortified more because of the winter. But the closer you get to Fumurvas, the more people there will be on the streets, and you can hear Tim and Hector being like shouting at people, "Get out! We're on a mission for the temple. Get out of the way, people!" And like Ivory doing his best, or her best, like angry neighing to get people to move. And the moving is very bumpy, because the cart is like zigzagging, and it shouldn't zigzag because it's a big, heavy roofed cart. It shouldn't zigzag. So it's a little bit bumpy, but you'll manage. Luckily, none of you have hangover.
Yeah.
Nail feels very
Ooh.
punished.
No, that's fine.
But yeah. Very. The day goes by, and very late in the evening, when the sun has already started going down, you reach the city.
Ooh.
The city of Fumurvas is a very big, thickly walled grey city. It's very non-decorated. It's very simplistic. The walls are thick grey stone with some small reinforcements or patches of other stone kinds. There are a lot of smokestacks and metal reinforcement both in the walls and in the buildings. And the city itself is on the edges of the big crater in the middle of the island, so it's a little on a hillside. So it's a little like diagonal or something.
Yeah, slanted.
Slanted. The round walls, which have stood for millennia and just like grown bigger, you can see that the city has been here for a very long time, and it's separated into two like cities. There's the middle city, which is very tightly packed with cube-shaped and L-shaped houses, which are pretty much all stone and metal. Very, very, very little any sort of nature. And even in the outer city, which is mainly very low buildings for living people, like the inner city is where all the main factories and refineries and smithies are. So those are like very varying heights, and then there's the like sort of castle thing in the middle. And the outer cities for like I said, living areas and like those things needed for living people to live in, workers and merchants and the few tourists. And then there's a lot of empty houses. You can see that the city has been used as winter refuge for those who don't want to live in their own houses. And there's a lot of, you will see later, but there's a lot of empty buildings who can just like people in the winter they live in one of the buildings inside the city, in the outer city, and in the summer they go back to their farmlands. Because there might be invasions, like most of the areas around are not connected to the Vale, but still invasions happen. Some rumors that they happen also from the crater, but if they happen from the crater, then that doesn't affect the city of Fumurvas. And you get to the outer, to the main gate, and there's a lot of guards, and you need to, it takes at least half an hour to get past the gates. And when you get to the checkpoint with the guards, and the guards are like checking you out, and Father Grey just very sternly and uses his authority and his priestly the priest's sign and the letter. He also he takes out the city guard captain or one of the higher ups and gives him a letter, and the higher up is like, I think it would be a lieutenant actually. Anyways, a lieutenant looks at the letter and is like, oh, just some of the guards were like, we should check the card out and just like see what it contains, and the lieutenant is like, no, you don't, just let it in.
One second, I need to
Diplomatic immunity.
Yeah. Problem 7. I'm gonna have to fix one thing.
Yeah.
The audio thing, so it's working.
Yeah. Hopefully, you heard the description, and if you didn't, just check it. Just tell it to us, and we'll do a recap or whatever.
Or we might have said, and you can type it down.
Yes.
And if it's better than what we said, that's canon.
Yes. You can help me create my own world. But yeah. You get past the outer city. It takes almost an hour because there's a lot of people inside the main, especially when you move on the main road. It's a lot tightly packed with carts and sellers of different things. There's a lot of craftspeople, mostly like wood and bone and metal, but some doing cloth and like wool things and so on and so forth. And in the outer city, like I said, there's some like trees and parks and like grazing areas, but then you get to the inner city walls. The outer city wall was like 10 meters thick, and the inner city wall is even thicker. And there's nothing, pretty much between the houses, there's pretty much nothing that can burn, because accidents do happen when you're running a lot of factories and smithies and things. And your cart is taken to the inner city into the into a bigger, you ride up half an hour and you get to a big domed building, which looks like it's a more fancy sort of factory, but it's still a factory. There's most of the buildings are like L-shaped and like very nothing round, no round shapes there, but this one building has a big round dome, and well, it is the dome of main building of the council. So let knows stuff, if you remember.
Yes.
Yes. And outside there's a group of researchers, people in like brown
Robes?
brown robes, and some of them having like this sort of smith's apron with tools and things, just like at the ready. Most of them are elves. There are a couple of humans, a couple of dark elves, of which one you recognize.
Mm-hmm.
And there's approximately 6 people waiting for you outside. Actually, I forgot, one of them is a very he looks, in the first glance he looks human-ish, but the more you look at him, the weirder it becomes, because his eyes are solid gold. It's not like shining or anything, but solid gold. He doesn't have any hair or beard. He's fully like shaven, and his skin has a sort of sheen, a weird sort of sheen, and he has the symbol of the Council of Creation on his apron's breast.
Is it some kind of artificial being?
No, you recognize
So
a
it's
real.
So it's a person of some kind, just a weird person.
Yes.
Okay.
His name is Gabriel, and he's the leader of the Onyx Ascendancy, which is well that well works for the Onyx Ascendancy.
Yeah, things are about to get real.
Yes. Why do you have to break my character names? They're good names. Anyways, the artifact, or the box is removed from your carriage, and your carriage is parked in a small storage space close by. There are no stables, anything, because usually riding animals don't get here. There are riding automatons, which you can see in a close by small storage space. You can see metal humanoid things which come and which like walk in line arms and look like they if someone needs something carried, they walk there and it's like. But they're unlike life. They're clearly not sentient. So you have reached the council building, and I think this is a good place to stop for the evening.
Well, we still have the box and
Yes.
we deliver it safely.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
The Gadriel person takes the box inside and tell them, now that we have gotten this item, we will get to research it and activate it so we can get it for the use of the theocracy. You don't need to be socially aware, but you can see from Gadriel's face that he really dislikes the theocracy. But there's bigger things in play than his dislikes of theocracy. But yeah, thanks for watching.
All right.
Give us any
Yeah.
feedback. Yeah, there's our email address and Facebook page and all that jazz. And hopefully you had fun. We very much
Yeah.
did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we will continue next time.
See for the grey murder
We will-
assault. When
Yes, we will
we
update the schedule on the Twitch and Facebook.
2 weeks.
2
Thursday.
weeks. We'll probably, now that like things are approximately better timingly, we will probably be on Thursdays again. But if anything crops up, we will inform you immediately.
Yes.
And like I said, any feedback is appreciated. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and stay healthy.
So yeah.
Bye.
Bye.